Well, hello guys. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving dinner day with your family. I know we did. We went out to the Lake of the Woods. There's a restaurant right on the lake there that we go to every winter or every Thanksgiving and eat Thanksgiving dinner. But anyways, it's really good grub. And then the wife, she about works just about as hard as I do, so it gives her, she don't have to cook and wash dishes and deal with all that. It's just easier on her. So, anyways, we go out there and do that and have a good time. So anyway, it's Friday, day after Thanksgiving, and here I am back at the shop. I won't be working. I don't know if I might do a little bit of work tomorrow, but my son and I are going fishing. We're going to leave Saturday evening and go over to Medford, spend the night in a motel, and get up early in the morning. And I'm not sure where we're going, to either the Umpqua or the Rogue River. I'm going to go steelhead fishing. Anyway, so that's our plan anyway. So that being said, I was going to try to get as much done as I could today. So I'm going to put the rear main seal in this and then start putting C1, C2 clutch pack and then all the brake planetaries together. Here's my new rear seal. I can get that set up and make sure that my installer is the correct one. I'm pretty certain it is. This installer should fit this just fine. Yeah, that is the correct seal installer. Alright. Yeah, I kind of really screwed up the other day. I was on the 6170 putting the engine back together, and I was actually videoing that, and I was doing the last hole, number 6, and broke a damn oil control ring. So I'm hung up till Tuesday on that, till I get the other rings in, and where we can keep proceeding. But we've got plenty of stuff we can do. There's no shortage of work. I mean, I can do the blower motors and the blower motor resistor. We got all that. We put the cab back together on that. We've got tons and tons of work on that. Marco brought over the 7830 that's got all kinds of problems with it from them. They've got 3 of those. It's got CAN bus error codes and sometimes won't go into gear because of all the CAN communication faults. And then it's got remote couplers leaking real bad on the back, and then PTO shaft seals leaking. Then something's going on with the water and fuel sensor on it and keeps derating it. And so there's all kinds of things to do. I'm waiting on a ECU controller to show up for a 9430T that I'm really anticipating. Hopefully it shows up today. I'd like to go over there and get it in there. So anyway, plenty of work to do. No, we're not going to be sitting on our thumbs waiting on anything really. So anyway, I guess we'll start by removing this engine flywheel. It kind of sucks. I ran out of gloves, and so I'm gonna have to go. I used to never wear those gloves, and I used to always think the same thing that a lot of other guys probably think. Oh, those pussies, and I'm gonna tell you what. You can call me a pussy all you want. Those gloves, I like wearing them because you know what? I used to go home after my hands was in this oil and all these chemicals and all this shit all day long, every day, and I'd go home and my hands would just hurt, And I'll tell you what, ever since I started wearing them gloves, my hands don't hurt like that anymore. So yeah, I like to wear them. If I can, I'll wear them. Anyway, 3/4, we'll zip this off, and then we'll have to get the old seal out. I'm pretty certain that is that gonna... Make sure this installer should fit the 6466s and kind of the hole pattern and stuff, I guess, is going to line up. I think so. I don't think we'll have too much trouble. Let me get my ducks in a row here. We'll get the flywheel zipped off, and I've got to start the air compressor and get the hose over here and all that good shit. So get a drill out and try to leave this alone. I'll just try to get a drill out or something and get this off the end of the crankshaft. I'll put some screws in it or something to get it off of there. Okay, so I'm trying to cheat as much as I can. I got 4 screws in it, but I'm trying to not. Sometimes you get it worked off the top. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, man. I got it. Okay. Yeah, just, I don't know, take you, I think I had an 1/8 inch bit. These are out of my Cummins kit, actually. So those out of my ISX kit. So we got to get some emery cloth and clean up that green shit. And I just drilled 4 holes. Those don't come out too bad. Those ISXs, yeah, you can't get away with that. Doing four holes in it. You gotta go all the way around that thing. These can be kind of a bear, I mean, to kind of get into here to get them cleaned up a little bit, but they're not. Some brake cleaning. Yeah, I bought some of that kind of mesh looking emery cloth from Napa here not too long ago, and I used it all up. I wanted some more of that stuff because it worked really nice. It was almost like wire mesh, 120 grit paper, and it was nice because it didn't plug up. This stuff plugs up so bad that if you got any kind of stuff like this on here, this green shit, it just constantly plugs up. But they didn't have any, so I was forced to get the stuff we used for a lot of years, which I don't really care for this shit, to be honest with you. For that sole reason of it constantly seeming to plug up. We'll just clean this up and put the new seal in. Let me get another chunk of this stuff. Bottom can be kind of hard to see what you're doing. Yeah. Hang on, I gotta get some brake clean and clean that up a little bit. Okay, so here's our new seal. Get her started on the crankshaft there. This inner piece will go on. Let's see here. I should have put that on already there, dumbass. Wait a second, what's going on here? How come that's not lining up? That's lining up, okay. I think. So, couple crankshaft bolts. I just finger tighten them up. Make sure your tool butts up flush. Let me get down. We probably ought to go a little tighter. Yeah. Okay, now that's a lot better. Okay. All right, so now we got that. Now take this seal, slide it over the tool. It'll slide like that. Okay, and then take this piece here. And then start pushing it in. Let me go get a crescent wrench. Or an 1 1/8. Okay, go get an 1 1/8. It should be the size. That looks like a 3/4 inch stud on that. So, okay, right here, that. Tight quarters in here with the truck in here like that. Yeah. And you gotta clock this to where when this thing tightens up, you don't hit your bolts with that crossbar on that installer. So we're gonna be pretty close, I think. The tool will bottom out, just like so, and that's it. And so you'll notice on these, I've had a lot of these tractors over the years do this. Guys will call me, man, I'm losing my engine oil somewhere, and then I'll tell them, you know, they say, we're adding oil to it, but it's not leaking nowhere. And then I'll say, yeah, look at your transmission level, is it increasing? You go, well, yeah, it is overfull, and it's kind of black looking. Well, this rear seal will go out, and it'll go right through C1, C2, and go right into the clutch housing, and fill the transmission full of engine oil. And you'll notice it because if you get enough of it in there and it's all carboned up black looking shit, you got engine oil in your transmission, which is a common thing on these. So if I got one of these split in half, I change this rear seal with a new one to try to have that not happen for a while. So that's done and over with. Looks good. We'll put some Loctite on these flywheel bolts, and we'll put it back in there. And then we'll start rebuilding packs. We got to clean all this gasket material and shit off the engine block where the clutch housing marries up to it. So that gasket set was not missing, it's on back order. So Wayne's a pretty good parts guy. He'll do the legwork and find stuff for you. He pieced it all together. He got pretty much everything. He had to piece it all one piece at a time, but he got all that stuff there. Most of that shit sitting over here, you know. That kit, the gasket kit usually comes with all these, like the clutch housing gasket, PTO gasket, rock shaft gasket, output planetary gasket. This one here we don't have yet because he said that John Deere screwed up and didn't put it in the order. So I won't see it till Tuesday, but I ain't gonna get that far anyway. We got a lot of shit to do here, so anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this crap away that I was getting out. Take my screws back out of this because I save them. I don't throw those away. There's nothing wrong with them. You don't know how valuable those things are. And we'll clean up all the stuff for the rear seal job, put the flywheel on, then we'll start getting our ducks in a row here. Well, I was going to start putting C1, C2 together, but that's not going to happen. We're missing a lot of parts, man. All I've got here, and these 8 are my fault. I ordered a couple of the drive plates because they were slipped and warped. But there should be 9 of these, and that was my fault. I only got 8 of them. There's only one disc here, so that's on the the input planetary. But I'm missing a lot of stuff. I'm missing everything for C1, C2. I don't see any of those. And then the small disc on what clutch is that? If we go up here, there's an exploded view of this. I'm missing these 39 and 40. 39 friction disc, but it doesn't tell you. So if we go to 37, that's C3. So I'm missing all the clutches that I ordered for C3. I need one more brake planetary clutch disc. And I think I'm missing some others for the input planetary. So we're missing a lot of stuff here, and I don't know if this stuff's on back order, because I did order it. So, I mean, I can get away, so we'll just go as far as we can. And that's all we can do, and then I'll have to call them Monday when everything opens back up. So I gotta charge this camera for a little while, guys, and then we'll start putting this together. Okay, so I know I didn't record this because the stupid camera battery was, I'm up to 55% right now, but anyways, I will go over an overview of what this is. B1 brake housing. So you take the piston out, they're lip seals, they're inner and outer lip seals, and you got to make sure you're putting the right lip seal on, because they had different diameters of lip seals on these, so make sure you get the right size. So you put your inner and outer lip seals on, and you get your piston in, and then you're going to put your return plate over the top. You're going to put the dowels. You should have 8 dowels made. I don't have them for this. I've got dowels made for the 4850, and they're bigger threaded, because there's non-threaded holes and threaded holes in the B1 housing. So you stick the dowels in the non-threaded holes, and you're supposed to take 4 more dowels that you've got made out of all thread and stick in the threaded holes, which I do not have. It's Friday, Thanksgiving weekend. I ain't gonna get shit now. I'm gonna try like hell. And all that does is keeps your return springs lined up correctly. That's all it really does. So anyway, we're gonna try to keep going. So anyways, then you put, after you do that, then you put one friction up against your return plate, and then a drive plate, which is a steel, and then another friction. And then we'll go on with our directions here. This was back in the old days when you could buy an I&T manual and put your tractor together, and there was no intellectual property theft bullshit going on with John Deere. So anyways, that's what this is an I&T manual. It shows a breakdown. Here's B1. Here's our inner seal, our brake piston, which is actually in the B1 housing. The outer seal's on the piston. Actually, number 4 is the piston. Number 5 is the seal. Here's the return plate. Here is the ring gear. And it only goes in one way. And it's self-explanatory. When you put it together, you really can't screw it up. Then you've got a friction, but you'll have to go down here, because on these various models, like you'll read down here. Okay, so if you had a 4050 to a 4250, B1 and B2 brakes, tells your thicknesses on your plates, tells your return springs and the quantities and the lengths and all that good stuff. Friction disc, quantity of 2. See? Now, the 4450, some of these had friction disc, quantity of 3. So you got to make sure you're on the right model number. So let's go back down to the reassembly, and I'll show you where I'm at. So I got down here, ring gear 7 notch face side down, alternate installation of brake disc and plates beginning with and ending with a disc. Be sure to align all oil holes in brake backing plate, figure plate 13, figure 172. Is this figure 172? Brake backing plate, which is going to be number 13. Backing plate, okay. Go back down here and read this again. Align oil holes in brake backing plate 13, figure 172, and B1 brake housing 1 when assembling. Okay. Let's see what we got there, huh? This would be our brake backing plate. These are kind of cleaned up. These say these parts here, most of the time you just wipe them off with a rag. This oil is really clean anyway, so it's not like you're doing engine work with old carboned up dirty ass oil. Okay, so I got to make sure. So we got dowel here. We got a dowel here. I think you can only go one way with this thing. I'm just trying to see here. Oil hole. Okay, so what are they calling the oil hole? It must be going through one of these threaded holes or one of the dowel. Oh, I see. Right here. Here's your oil passage right there. See this passage right here? That's your oil passage to feed this clutch piston right there, which is going to be right there. So I need to turn it like this. Okay, and then we got to line up all these dowels. That is your oil hole. That one. That one. And that's wrong. Little dowels right there. Okay, I'm gonna have to get me a rubber mallet. No, it's going. Okay, I have put these together before without the dowels were these other springs. I've got away with it before. We'll see. What I've done is I've taken the threaded bolts to go through it, and then as I assemble it, I just make sure that I can get them in there and line them up. I've got some assembly lube on there to kind of make them tacky, so they'll kind of stay put. And I just make sure they'll line up. Like so. Okay, so that part's done. The oil hole they're talking about is right here. So the oil feeds through this backing plate into your B1 housing. It kind of can only go one way, because if you had it flipped over the other direction, the dowels and stuff, things wouldn't line up. Things wouldn't be right. You really can't really screw it up. So, okay, so then line oil holes, backing plate, and B1 brake housing 1 when assembling. Install B2 Planet ring gear 14 and planetary assembly 26. Planet ring gear 14, which is going to be this one right here. And then they want you to put the planetary itself in. Okay, is there a stepped side to it or anything like that? Okay. Okay, so that's what they want there. And then they want you to install this is an old clutch disc, so we don't want to put that back in there. We don't need those problems. And reusing old parts. So yeah, that's just going to go right up against our backing plate, and then they want you to put the actual planetary assembly in there. Okay, so which direction does this go? I'm pretty certain that it's going to go wait a second. No, it's going to go like this because of the, yep, it's got to go like this. As you'll see, these gears, this smaller diameter pinion or planet gear is going to go down there. That's what that's all about. So we're still not lining up here yet. There we go. Okay. Now, if you take the planetary itself apart, this planetary is timed. As you'll notice, though, it doesn't say anything about timing those. It just tells you to install it. Okay, so when installing, install B2 planet ring gear 14 and planetary assembly 26. Continue reassembly of brake packs, brake piston housing, and clutch pack assembly in reverse order of disassembly. Remove the fabricated dowels. That's really nice. Remove the fabricated dowels from the threaded holes B1 after installing B4 brake housing 59. Install brake housing through bolts. So, yeah, that's kind of a chicken shit deal, huh? So they just wanted us to keep going here, I guess. So obviously we gotta put, so we'll have to go off. So, well, obviously this B1, number 15, friction disc, that's gonna be B2 clutch pack. So there's how many friction discs are there in? So there's 2 required, which I've got 2 soaked here. I got to soak some more. But let's look at our exploded diagram here. Oh, what the hell happened here? So there's our backing plate, ring gear. So they want a friction, a steel, a friction, okay? From what I can ascertain from that piss poor deal. There's one of those. And we should have a steel plate that goes in here. Okay, so let me figure this out. Alright, so I got one friction on there. Here's our steel. Hang on a second, I need somewhere. Hang on. Let me put this here for just a minute. I need both hands. Our steel plate right there. This would be B2 clutch pack. Okay, and then we got another friction here, which has been soaked. And don't get too, worried about, make sure that it'll spline up, but once those springs compress and everything's bolted together, it'll all make sense. So, same song and dance. Return plate goes in. Let's just hope and pray that we can keep our return springs kind of lined up. So I just put some grease on them here, kind of make it a little bit tacky. Like I say, you should have some dowels made for this. It makes life a lot easier, but I've gotten away with it before. I'm just really careful. Basically all it's doing is keeping your return springs for your plates lined up, so the bolts will go back through it when you finish the assembly, which we're not going to be able to finish it anyway because we don't have all the parts. Just get it most of the way put together that we possibly can, and so on and so forth. Anyway, here's our return plate. Okay, so they're going to be the far holes, like so. It goes on there just like that. And we've got 2 of our bolts here for line everything back up. Sure are. So those are lining up. Be very, very careful. Okay, so all that shit's lining up. Okay. So, these are the bolts I used to pick it up with. These come apart a lot easier and go back together a lot easier than a piece of shit automatic transmission does in a car. Take you a pair of pliers and just pull the clutch piston out most of the time. Like I said, there's different lip seals on these, so you gotta make sure that you're getting the right ones in there. So I gotta find my pick. These are actually still in pretty good shape, really. These lip seals are on this one. Is this the same exact size as that other one? It appears to be. Let me see if I can find one. There should be one right here. Lip goes down. Oh shoot, the camera's pointing the wrong direction. Okay, I got a little bit of oil. Something. Well, see, you got to make sure on these lip seals that you don't get a twist in her. So it really behooves you to go clear around this thing. Make sure that it's not got a twist in it. That piston is ready for installation. Now, the inner seal on that brake housing, take your pick and it'll be, okay, so that lip on that one, hang on a second, that lip is going that direction, just facing down. Alright, and I think that's this seal right here, because one was a little bit bigger than the other one was on a couple of these brake housings. And we'll find out right now. This is the right one. You'll know if you stick this one here on the other one, like B1 housing, it won't fit. Will not fit, it'll be too loose. It's painfully obvious when you do it, trust me, because I just did it. And I said, yeah, shit, that ain't right, dude. There's no way in hell that's right. You see, I got a twist in this thing right now. I'm trying to get the twist out of it. Okay, throw that one in the used pile over there. Now, these go in usually quite a bit easier as well than a piece of shit automatic transmission in a car. I hate automatic transmissions in cars. I just think they're so poorly made, you know. And the thing is, the newer that they get, they just keep trying to jam more speeds and gears out of the same size case, you know. It's just like, holy shit, it just, you look at some of those things, you go, what a piece of shit this thing is. And it's all aluminum. It just takes one chunk of little shit and the whole fucking thing doesn't work, and I hate them. Not a big fan. As you can tell. This is just a piece of plastic I got out of a transmission rebuild kit. It's a lip wizard. Like a Transgo kit comes with them and stuff like that for them automatics, and it works really good for working that lip in on these clutch pistons. Working around here, I don't know if I'm picking anything up. See, I'm still hanging up over here. My lip is not in over here. I can actually see it sticking out right there. No good. And there it is. Okay, so nice and easy. Don't force it in and cut the lip. So that's all back together. So now, obviously, it's kind of the same song and dance. I mean, this is obviously going to be our oil feed hole right here, because this part goes down into the actual transmission, and the oil comes up through here, goes through this hole, and feeds all that stuff. So that's going to go just like so. And these clutch pistons, they'll fucking fall out on you too. I've had them fall out before putting them back together, like this one's trying to do right now. Hopefully it stayed the hell in there, I hope. I guess we could always air check it. Make sure it stayed together. Yeah, they'll fall right out of there. Probably should put some of this, instead of just that tractor hydraulic fluid on there, I should probably use some of that gel. Maybe it'll make that piston seal a little more tacky and stay in place a little better. Same old thing, you know, I just make sure that all that stuff's gonna line up. Okay. Okay. Keep moving along here. So that's B1, B2 is back together, and you can air check these clutches right through your feed ports right here. And basically, you know, you're gonna have to go off the exploded view here is what you're gonna have to do. And then basically it's reversal of disassembly, what the book says. So the next clutch pack is gonna be, so that's B1 clutch pack, B2, and 25 is, let's see, wait a second. Yeah, that's B2 housing, which this would be B2 housing right here. So that would be B2, which we already got on there. There's our planetary. Okay. That ring gear's in, that ring gear's in. This ring gear's not in yet. 27. Okay, so we left off at B1 or B2. Clutch pack is assembled and completed. So, what a guy could do now is put B3 back together. So let's take B3 ring gear. I don't think there's anything, there's no step on it or anything like that. Okay. Basically do your clutch stack up and you're going to have a friction. This is the one that pack slipped pretty bad on. I got two new frictions. There's two new steels. So these are soaked in oil, obviously. This is a new steel plate, drive plate, I guess you could say. Whatever way you want to say it. Okay. And then you're going to have your piston return plate, which goes up on the top. So we got to put all our springs in, obviously. Okay, and these springs are a little longer. What the hell's going on? We've got a spring wound up inside of another spring. And I don't put any assembly lube or nothing. See, these have actually a recess to where the spring will sit down in the recess, so they kind of stay lined up where they need to be. Okay, then our return plate. This one spring's not looking that great. Okay. So now, B3 housing, brake piston. And let's see, it should be like, no, it's not that one. It's going to be this one here. Get rid of that shit. Put it down there. Actually, you know what? Let's put them maybe over here. Yeah, I mean, I can't stress enough to put new seals in all this stuff when you're going back together with it, because it's a lot of work to go back and do this again. Okay, so the lip faces down. And it's pretty simple to figure out where the up and down is on the piston. Obviously this is the top, the one with the notches in it. And then the O-ring itself, the lip seal, is the actual seal groove that the seal goes into in the piston is offset, and the offset part goes, you know, the offset, the seal goes down. This part would be the offset up, so. Got a twist in this thing or something. Try not to use my pick on a new seal too much if I don't have to. Try to use my finger so I don't cut the lip seal sometimes. See, this thing's got a pretty good twist in it. Damn sure that you got no twist in it. Okay, and it's the same thing here. Same. Another lip seal, and this one's gonna, you know, the lip's gonna go down against that. And let me find one, dig around here in the box of seals here and find the right one. Alright, so I got B3 inner and outer seal on the piston. See a speck of something there I don't really like. Right. Okay, where's my feed at? Right there. That's gonna line up with that. Okay. Kind of making sure everything's looking okay here. This side doesn't seem to be down as far for some reason. There it goes. Why is that one there? Why is that one sticking up higher than all the rest of them are? What's going on with that one? Actually, yeah. Oh, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? These are dowels. Never mind. I'm all screwed up. Looking at the wrong dowels, ding dong. Alright, so those used piles of shit that can go over here. Okay, so B4 clutch pack. Or brake, I guess you could say. Over here. And it's pretty much the same old song and dance. The only problem is that we are one shy of where we need to be. We are one clutch pack, one friction, I should say, shy of where we need to be. Which really doesn't matter. Right now, because we're a lot shy on other things that we need. We don't have any of the C3 clutch pack. We don't have any C1. We don't have any C2. So we're kind of screwed up quite a bit here. So Put all our return springs in, obviously. And I am missing a spring. So I'm gonna have to go on the hunt for that. That is not good. It's here somewhere. Let me start looking high and low for that. It's gotta be right here. Everything was laying right here on this bench where it was disassembled, so it's gotta be here. I'm gonna try to keep moving the ball down the field here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna, hang on. This is the ring gear for C3. C3 actually stacks up in here. So we're not gonna completely assemble it correctly right now because we don't have, I need one more of these frictions. Another friction goes on top here. Hang on a second. I need 2 hands. What I'm gonna do is just stick that one friction in there, put the separator plate in, and I'm gonna bolt it all together, and I'm just gonna air check. At least I've got that far, and I know my cylinders, my seals are all okay and air checked as they're supposed to, like so. So I still gotta pull this clutch piston here out. Last one. Yeah, okay. So I gotta do this last piston inner and outer seal. So you'll have a thrust washer here too as well. So you gotta make sure, and what I do on these thrust washers, on these, so on the hub here, the recess is right there for the thrust washer. So we'll take some of that gel and smear a bunch of that shit on there. And stick that thrust washer to it. Because if everything air checks out okay, we should not be taking anything else apart. And then that hub will go down in here like so. Just like so. And you'll notice that down here as well, you're barely splined into the sun gear on the planetary, this ring gear. It's barely splined up, but once everything's compressed and everything's together, it'll have plenty of tooth contact there. And okay, so yeah, put the piston seal on that, bolt it all together, take a rubber tip blow nozzle, and we'll air check all these. Don't air check it this way, it'll blow them right off the top if it's not bolted together. So you'll notice when you get it all together, your mounting holes and everything will line up right, and then your feed holes will all line up correctly. And don't just, once you get it on there, don't run it down with an impact. Just start evenly pulling it together with a bolt side to side, maybe working a star pattern. I mean, I just don't think a guy should run that down with an impact, because if it hangs up on a dowel or something, and it'll break that. I mean, this is just cast. It'll break that brake housing, and that's no good, because these are old tractors and parts are starting to become harder to come by, so it's probably a good thing to not do that. But so far she's just kind of sliding right together. And I'm not going to torque them. I'm going to take it back apart. I'm just going to air check these, and I'll just have to take these bolts back out and then put one friction basically in it and put it back together. And the only thing I would have to do to complete the assembly of the clutch pack is put C3 clutch pack together, which I might just go as far as I can go on it while I'm here. I think I've got the piston seals for it, but I don't have any of those frictions for it. None. Okay, all those are together. So we should be able to take this rubber tip blow nozzle and air check. And you're gonna have a little bit of leak by on these things. But I guess it's just experience, you know, when you got one that's screwed up and you didn't get it right. This thing's leaking pretty bad. This is gonna be, you'll see, I don't know if you can see that. This one's working good. Watch your, that's working good. Holding good. This is going to be actually, this one's going to feed the bottom. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, those all air check out really good. So that's about as far as we can go on the brake housing. I still gotta, I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble it so I don't forget and do a dumb shit thing and go, oh, I got it all together, and forget that I don't have one of my frictions in there. So yeah, we're missing, this is C3 clutch pack, that's C1, C2. As you can see, these are all worn out too. You can't put that back together. The steels were okay in them, but I mean, that one's got a couple heat spots on it, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, so I'm missing, what, 4 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5. I'm missing 5 discs there. But let's see, what else did I? So these bolts here, I kind of mocked those up. Your piston is below. I'll have to take this assembly here and put it in the press, pull the snap ring off. You'll have to collapse these bevel springs, Belleville, whatever the fuck they call them. And pop that off, and then the piston seal's right here. At least I can get that done and get that piston. I think I should have those. That's probably the outer seal for that, right? No, that's too big. So it's not that one. It's going to be probably, I don't know, it might be. So these are the C3 sealing rings for the those are the 3 sealing rings for this here for the throwout. And we got I'm betting that is the inner seal for that. Now, and it might actually have a quad ring on the outer seal. So there's another quad ring. I might have to get into JD Parts and look that up. Here's another lip seal here, but I guess we won't really know till we take it apart and see what we got. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna do for the rest of the gate. I'm probably done videoing for now. I mean, I'm gonna put this in the press over there, take this snap ring off, pop this piston out, and then find which seals are what, put on that. I'm gonna take this back apart. That way we don't forget that that we're missing a friction out of here. And I'll be waiting for parts, I guess.